the proper food, go to a proper
I ain't gonna
place.
hold you. European portion size is mad. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're gonna be checking out a video from the channel, Honest Guide. This video is titled, He Thought He Was Scammed, but he was just stupid. So this is in reference to an American, and I'm not sure what this video is entirely about, but we're going to figure that out soon as possible. First of all, I just want to say thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe, and if you have any recommendations, click that link in the pinned comment section, and I'll check out that video that you guys recommend as soon as possible. Without further ado, let's figure out this video and what it's all about with Europe and America. Some scam or whatever.
American tourists went to a restaurant in Prague, Czech Republic, and accused them of tricking and scamming him. And since we are locals in this town, we decided to pay a visit to the restaurant and find out if the tweet that went viral with more than 1 million hits is actually legit. Spoiler alert, it's not. We are two locals from Prague, Czech Republic, and we run a show here on YouTube that is called The Honest Guide. The goal of our show is to help tourists and visitors to our city so they feel welcomed and they feel like home. Now, they can face some obstacles that sometimes are just a tiny bit of cultural difference. And that is our favorite series that we do, where we explain to mostly Americans, look, things can be different in a different country. And mostly people laugh about it and they're like, oh yeah, that's interesting, that is different, I accept it, I acknowledge it. But sometimes people visit and they're just like, no, I want it my way and this is how I want it. Which is probably the case of this.
Yeah, that's one thing I will always hate about people. Wanting things your way. Like, dude, life is not about you. Like, I'm just being real. Life is not about me, it's not about you, and it will never be about you, and it will never be about me. You might have something that I wish I have, I might have something that you wish you have. At the end of the day, reality speaking, life ain't about me, and it ain't about you. So whatever you want, just get it for yourself. That's the best thing you can do, but don't try to force it on everybody else. But I think that's what a lot of people do, and I guess this is what this American did.
Kid. So he comes to this restaurant and he's handed a menu. And in the menu, he looks at meals and he looks at prices. And then he sees another menu and he sees different prices. Now, the lower prices were on the menu that was in Czech. So he gets all furious, he goes on Twitter, or X, and he's raging, like, laughing my ass off. The first restaurant I went to in Prague was $19 on the English menu and $6 on the Czech menu, misspelling the word Czech. 12,000 likes, 1 million hits on the tweet, and many people tagging us, the Honest Guides, to go investigate and to find out if he was scammed and that he should be more prepared and that this is common in Prague, that the prices are different for a tourist and for a local. No, it is not.
But I'm just being real. I don't think a company or a restaurant would actually make it so obvious. If they had different prices for you, the tourist, compared to the regular person, I just don't think it would be that, you know, what do you say, obvious. I don't think so.
We've been doing this show for 8 years. I do not recall a single situation where it would be so obvious that a menu would be in Czech with different prices and in English with different prices. We live in an era where everyone has a phone where you can easily translate things, which is, by the way, exactly what this guy did. So he looks at the menu, there's a couple meals priced around $19, and then he sees the Czech menu where the meals are at $6. Now, this is a la carte menu, and this is the daily menu. It's a thing that is common around restaurants in Prague, that you have a daily menu where there are certain meals that are prepared much faster and they're much cheaper. And quite often, the kitchen wouldn't even prepare a la carte during the lunchtime because they simply are busy making the lunch menus. Now, it's actually something I didn't make up. It's something that is written in the menu in English, if this Twitter boy would be smart enough to actually read it.
Twitter boy.
Our classics. Possibility to order from 3 p.m. And let's be fair here, there are places, restaurants in Prague that have the daily menu only in Czech because they target workers that work around here, office people, and they print it every day, so maybe it would be difficult for them to translate it every day to English.
I get that.
Now this restaurant, they do have it in English, right here. And if you walk in and you're speaking English, they will hand you the English daily menu. Now, maybe it didn't happen in the case of the person who wrote this rage on Twitter. Well, guess what you could have done instead of going to Twitter? You could have visited the website of this restaurant where the first button is daily menu and it is in English. And the prices are identical on the Czech and on the English menu. Luckily, there's a feature on this social network where readers can add context, which is exactly what people did. The Czech menu is actually daily lunch offer. Lunch offer for cheaper prices is very common in Czech restaurants. Now, in this thread on Twitter, many people pointed out that it's common in Czech, the prices are lower. And this guy goes on, he goes, I have trouble believing the cheapest thing on the full English menu is 3 times the price as the most expensive thing on the lunch Czech-only menu, not on purpose. Yes, and guess what? Before turning into Karen on Twitter, maybe ask the waiter and say, excuse me, would you have an English menu? And you know what his reply would be? Oh, yes, of course I do. I'm sorry I didn't bring you one. By the way, since we live in a city where sometimes you go into a restaurant where there's more tourists, sometimes there's a restaurant where there's more locals, it's common they don't know which menu to hand you, so you can simply ask. And since we're here, we obviously decided to try their meals because everything that is on the daily menu looks amazing and the prices are actually very, very low. I mean, you know, inflation's going crazy and 169 crowns, that's really good. That's this in dollars, by the way.
Yes. Oh, okay. That's what it's called, crowns. Okay. The irony of the whole situation is that at one point in my life, I did not know there were so many different types of, you know, currencies out there. Like, I knew you had Asian. I thought Europe had only 2 different currencies, which was the euro and obviously the British pound. The reality is I know a lot more about, you know, the British because I have family ties to the UK. So we've said that a million times. So I knew that part, but the euros was the one that, you know, kind of tripped me out. I was like, yo, what? So the entire Europe doesn't use the euros? I was really shocked to find that out. Like, it's actually really, really crazy.
That's the other thing. The other thing this kid was raging about with some other people is, wait, they don't have euro in Czechia? No, we don't. And it's nothing you should rage about. Like, we're a sovereign...
I just don't. That's crazy. That's crazy, yeah.
Country, maybe we have a different currency. It may upset some people, but accept it.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
You can pay with your phone, with your card, or with the QR code on the table. By the way, a cool feature. We may have been a bit rude to the tourist. Now, let's be honest.
Ooh.
Thank you for writing that tweet. Because thanks to that, we discovered this place and we tried the food and it is delicious.
That looks good.
And the price is the same if you're a foreigner or a Czech or a local or a tourist, because that's how it is. So this was an example of a tourist accusing a restaurant of being bad, which in fact it was actually good. Now, can there be opposite? Yes, there can, which is exactly the following case. And now this. But before we talk about this cultural difference, let me talk about our sponsor, a word from our sponsor, Surfshark VPN, which will help you experience website. I personally thank you, Surfshark, and let's go back to the cultural difference that is in front of us. So in the previous story, we talked about a tourist that came to Prague and was unhappy with his experience just because of a cultural difference that he didn't expect. Now, this is the opposite case where a tourist came to a place and he was very pleased and happy, and he shared his experience on one of the Prague Facebook pages. Visited Prague last week and found this restaurant. He's almost describing it as if it was like a hidden gem. And I'm in this group and I'm reading the post and I see the picture of the restaurant. I'm like, oh boy, I know that place. That is a legit tourist trap. We filmed about that place. And then I saw the picture of the food and I was like, oh shit, we're in trouble. Now, if you're a tourist and you've never been to Prague and you'll see this picture, it may not look pleasing, okay, but you'll be like, okay, I guess that's what the locals eat. But if you're a local and you see this picture, you know there's something seriously wrong. And we actually replicated it here in the restaurant. Now, we're in a different restaurant because they probably wouldn't let us film in the tourist trappy one since we're calling them a tourist trap. But the main problem here, which Czechs are pointing out in the Facebook discussion under the post, is the dumplings. And I can absolutely understand that for a foreigner, for a tourist, a dumpling is a dumpling, right? They're the same. They're not. There's different kinds, and the different kinds go with different kind of meal. So the small dumpling that I have here, you would never ever mix with this sauce. You only mix the big dumpling with this sauce. I may sound ridiculous, I'm listening to myself and I do sound ridiculous, but that's how it is. So for us seeing that somebody in that restaurant would serve him such a dish with that whipped cream, which is from a can, and with the sauce that looks horrible.
Hei, vastaa kysymykseeni. Kuinka paljon tämä maksaa? Hei, vastaa kysymykseeni.
It's bad. Now, just so you know, when we ordered these dumplings here and with this sauce, the woman was like, all right, I'll do it for you. And she knows that it's bad, but she said, you know, it's your fantasy, whatever your desire is. But the people in the comments did point it out to this foreigner. The only thing is that he was happy, and I'm nobody to judge him on the quality of the food or how the waiters were and so on. I can only say, and I'm absolutely sure about that it was not a local traditional dish as he's referring to it. And since in the Facebook post he's saying that there was helpful staff, they should have helped him and told him this dumpling, which is by the way a potato dumpling, I should have said it, does not go with the svíčková sauce. You only use the bread dumpling, which is this one. Let's address the sauce, may I? Now, oh God. I did repost this to my Twitter and people were outraged. We're like, whoa, what's going on there? And they even noticed something I didn't, and that's what the sauce looks like. It definitely does not have the structure of a svíčková sauce, which would look more like this. And now, let's be fair, we're in like one of the cheapest cafeterias in town. That is great, we love it here. But if you go to like a proper restaurant and you pay this, he paid a lot. You should get like a really good sauce. But then again, the guy was happy. He even said he found more restaurants named Švejk around Prague. Yes, check their reviews, check their ratings, man. Check our videos. Like, those places are legit traps. Like, I can guarantee that. We filmed 4 episodes ago. Not only they charge you extra for the dumplings, the price is ridiculous by the way, but they also charge you extra for using the silverware, and then they charge you extra, you know for what? Just extra.
Like they charge you 15% service charge each, and then it actually was 378.
Whoa, she automatically, wait.
And then that's for them to serve you your dinner, except they don't actually do it.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
We asked the waitress, and we're like, what's this? And she goes, oh, that's extra.
Cena za omelet?
Kuvert je automaticky, to chápu. A co je extra?
A je to naše díško.
To je vaše díško.
And once again, just like in the previous case, people were calling out our names, honest guides, you know, and referring to our channel and trying to help the guy.
That's
but again,
terrible.
If he was happy with that,
terrible.
He's gonna be.
Have I really been a tourist though? Like, I haven't really done a lot of tourist related things, so I can't really say on that. But dude, that is just crazy, dog. Like, imagine doing stuff like that. That is really, 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 really bad. Messed up.
So happy when he tries the real deal, man. It's like, imagine eating chocolate like only from Mr. Beast and then actually visiting Switzerland and trying the real deal. We tried Mr. Beast chocolate. We live in Europe. It's horrible. Maybe not the new one. Now, the difference between the svíčková we were showing you on the picture from the Facebook versus this one, which is a one that Honza had in a very, very good restaurant,
Wow.
the Red Stag.
That
By
looks
the way,
good.
the better one was still cheaper. It was 14 euros. So that's a tip from a local. Get the proper food, go to a proper
I ain't gonna
place.
hold you. European portion size is mad cool. Like, honestly, I'm not the guy with the small portion size, but I don't know. I think European portion size is growing on me, man. Like, it's growing on me. But hey, I do love my big food. You know what I mean? But the portion size right here, man, it's just, I don't know. It just looks a lot more presentable, and it looks a lot more like something that you can just, you know, actually, you know, taste food properly and not just indulge and just like, you know, stuff yourself.
Because they will actually help you and they will serve you the good stuff. The definition of a tourist trap, and we've mentioned this before, is you pay more for less quality stuff. And if there should be a picture definition of a tourist trap, is this picture. World premiere.
First of all, the sauce is very good. Second of all, it's a weird experience for the very first time in my life to be sampling those two things together. It's like putting mayonnaise on wings. Like, you'd never do that, right? You would never get barbecue wings and be like, something's missing.
Nah, people would do that. Nah.
But
You got
again,
to do
the
that.
sauce is very, very good. But having it with potato dumpling, honesty moment, not bad.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Exactly. Because, like, come on now, like, potato gotta be good, and then that gravy, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it might just slap, you know what I mean? It might not be the typical way how it's supposed to be done, but, you know, shit, collision sometimes makes sense, you know what I mean?
Now, let's be honest, when I said I actually like the combination with the not proper dumpling, if there is a place where you can sample and test all these things, it's this restaurant, Havelská Koruna. Come later, it's busy during the lunch, because you can actually buy single dumplings. So you can tell them that you want 2 of these and 3 of these, and their selection of Czech meals is endless. So this is the place to go to play around with Czech meals. They will absolutely hate us in the kitchen if you show up and you'll be like, I'll have a piece of that, with a piece of that, and with a piece of that. Please don't do that. Or just tell them a different guy sent you. I do love discovering cultural differences that people experience when they come to Prague. If you want to see more, we have made more cultural differences episodes, so you can check them out on the Honest Guys channel.
Yeah, for sure. We got to do that. But yeah, that was really messed up from that American guy. It's really unfortunate. I've said this time and time again. I know I'm probably just a weird guy, but I've never traveled solo where it's like, okay, it's unknown territory. Like I know I was in Germany by myself, but when I was in Germany by myself, I didn't go and experience nothing. I experienced the airport for about 10 minutes because I had to go immediately. Boom, in Germany, boom, got to get out immediately, right? So it was like an in and out situation. So yeah, not something that, you know, I would consider solo travel, right? But what I would advise is always to have a local with you, man. Like, I don't think there's anything hard about it. Like, there's so many people out there who, you know, would actually help you, genuinely help you. Like, I would figure something out like that. It's much safer, in my humble opinion, to do that. So I would advise that. But y'all can let me know what the advice would, you know, best be, because you guys are obviously the tourist hotspots. So let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Recommendations, please leave those in the comment section or click the link in the pinned comment section and you can recommend any video and I'll check it out as soon as possible. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I'm out of here. Peace.